What is going on, you beautiful people? DJ's here with the final review of the Advance Wars Days of Ruin Hard Mode RomHack, also known as Days of Ruin Dawn After the Ashes RomHack by Eagleow37. In today's short episode, we're going to be discussing my closing thoughts on the RomHack, grading the RomHack on a scale of 1 to 100, and giving my final review whether you guys should play this game or if it's absolute schlop. So today we're going to be grading the game on the following 4 topics. Number 1, and the most important, is playability, which counts for 50 points out of 100. The most important question for playability: is this game fun? Did I enjoy playing this RomHack? Is the RomHack also too easy? Is it too challenging? Is there bugs in the RomHack? Does the map design work? Basically, the most overarching category is playability, and also the most important. Next topic is balance changes. Are the CO changes and the unit changes cohesive? Does it make sense? Is it nothing's too overpowered, nothing's unplayable? Is the AI smart? Is it dumber? Etc. So that only counts for 20 points. The smallest category is story. It only counts for 10 points, but it's also quite important. Is the story cohesive? Is it entertaining? Is it engaging? Does it match with the maps? But they're talking about invading a sea fortress and the map takes place on a mountain. I'm going to dock some points for that. You need to have some cohesiveness with the actual terrain and the story. And the last but not least category is creativity, which counts for 20 points. This is kind of the catch-all category. Is the creator creative with the hack? Are they bold? Are they trying new things? Are they not playing it safe, but trying new story arcs, new COs, new units, etc.? This is kind of my favorite category, the creativity. So that's 20 points. So assuming we score everything, once you have the final scoring, you can get the following grades. S rank, which is from 91 to 100 points, is a must-play for everyone. If I rank anything in S rank, put down whatever game you're playing. I don't care if you're playing, Hollow Knight, Silk Song, Undertale. I don't care what other banger games you're playing. Put it down and play the game right now. That's S rank. From 80 to 89 points is A rank. Basically, a great game that I highly recommend. Can't go wrong with this game. A solid Advance Wars hack. I'm a very harsh grader, so if you get an A rank, that's really good. You should be very proud of your hack if you get an A rank. Next up, 70 to 79 points is B rank. It's a fun, solid game that I think most people would enjoy. Maybe it would be a little too hard for newcomers in Advance Wars. Maybe it's a little too hard, or maybe a little too easy, but the game is overall fun, would be a B rank. Next we have C rank, which is 60 to 69 points. This is more of a niche game. It has some issues that hardcore dedicated players would enjoy, but maybe the UI is a little off. Maybe there's a little bit too many glitches. Maybe the CO selection is a little boring. Niche game, I recommend to hardcore. If you play all the other Advance Wars games, maybe you'd like this. And finally, 59 and below is Schlop tier. It's a bad game. I don't recommend it. Hopefully, I never have to see a game like this. If something is in Schlop tier, I probably wouldn't even finish the hack, honestly. If I am not enjoying it at all, I'm not playing the rest of the Schlop. We'll get to episode 4 and give up. So those are the 4 categories. So starting off, let's talk about playability. My thoughts on Advance Wars Days of Ruin Hard Mode. Well, overall, I think this was a great game. There was many highs and lows, however. The first 10 to 15 levels I thought were very well thought out, and I love the CO changes with the new COs like the Beast, with really strong attack and weak defense, and also nerfing COs like Penny, Isabella, etc. But I really think the creator excelled early on with the pre-deployed smaller maps. Some of them felt like masterpieces. I particularly loved episode 12, the naval battle with all pre-deployed units. You also had Wayland doing his own thing at the top. That was a hard level, very rewarding to win, and I felt like I barely made it by the skin of my teeth. It was very challenging, but not too hard. Episode 12. Also, episode 16 was also another masterpiece with Brenner on ice, the one where you're escaping through the ice plains, all pre-deployed as well. It felt like chess almost, because you can't build any units. You have to position everything perfectly. It felt like a puzzle. I really enjoyed that. And also, I love the Fnatic level, episode 22, with all the silos and injured units. That just felt like a really fun dynamic. I like the Fnatic healing up units as well. That was a cool new CO. So I loved episode 22. But honestly, the one that shocked me the most, and I think I might have had the most fun with, and it was just out of control, was chapter 14. That episode was nuts. It was completely unexpected Davis D-Day game. A DD day sort of map with swarms of allied troops, more than your own troops. You have allied troops with overwhelming firepower. That was wild. I really liked that map. In the rain and the new story and lore, that was great. There were some really good levels on this map. However, as all things go wrong sometimes, Chapter 17 onwards, except for the exception of the Fnatic level, turned into really long slogs, like 2 to 3 hour plus long games with lots of reinforcements, enemy bases, unforgiving AI, occasional glitches, the AI going haywire. I mean, I enjoyed the more aggro AI. It made it more challenging in general, but it sacked a lot less units, making the game a lot harder. This is a really challenging game. This is like on a scale of 1 to 10 of hardness, this is like 9. This is a very hard RomHack. I had to reset. I never usually have to reset games, but I had to reset several times on most maps after chapter like 17. But very schloggy. I feel like it's hard to extrapolate. When you give an opponent a lot of bases with AI, you don't know what they're going to do. Whereas if you have pre-deployed maps, there's only a set sort of thing they can do, and you can kind of, you're going to do this, and that's how you combat it. But sometimes random AI, you get random luck, random bad luck, and then the game just kind of flips on its side. You get a bad roll, and then you lose. It got way too hard. This is a very punishing, unforgiving hack. If you're a hardcore fan, you might like this, but this is I might encourage for some people to play the first 17 games and then just stop. The first 17 maps and just stop. Those were really well thought out, but then it just gets so punishing. And let me say, the first 17 maps are also no snooze either. They're like a 7 on the scale of 1 to 10 in hardness. So very challenging hack. Very tiring at the end. I got very tired. I got headaches. I was doing really long hacks, really long episodes. My game was crashing from all of the memory it was using, honestly. In the last 5 missions, my games were going on like 3+ hours. I was tired. He went a little too bonkers. I think you need to make it easier and the map smaller. Other than that, masterpiece at the beginning, but then it just dragged on after that. And the bugs. The last thing is the bugs. There was a lot of glitches at the beginning. I had to cut out a lot of things. But basically, I was knocking on Eagle Owl's Discord door every day. Hey, man, can you fix this? Hey, man, can you fix this? Hey, man, can you fix this? Hey, man. I had to contact the guy like 20+ times, like begging him, please, can you patch this? This game has to come out in 2 days. I need to beat this level. Please, can you fix this? I hated pestering him, but there were so many glitches. And you guys got to see some while I was playing, but there was 10 times as many behind the scenes. I think after episode like 15, there was only a few more glitches, and I had to edit out some of that stuff. But like battleships teleporting onto land, like that, what? Stuff like that. So the bugs, Eagle Owl, God bless that man. He was patient with me. He fixed everything. Sometimes he took a little longer than I would have liked, but he has a job and he has to do his own responsibilities. But a lot of bugs. Oh my God. He fixed them though. So good on him. If he didn't fix them, I would never finish this hack. So he was receptive to it, but my God, there was a lot of glitches at first, and props to him for fixing most of that. Anyway, that was a lot on playability. That's the most important thing, and therefore I'm going to give my playability score of 39 out of 50. Like I said, a lot of highs and lows. The bugs really draw them down a bit, and way too challenging for a lot of players, but still 39 is pretty generous from me, from a really harsh grader. So I think there's nothing to be sad about with a 39 out of 50. Next up, we have balance changes, CO unit and unit changes. I really like the addition of the Beast. I really liked nerfing Isabella. I liked nerfing Penny. Calder being super buffed. Yeah, it's canon, but he also is really overpowered in the last mission. It wasn't too bad though. Honestly, I really like the balance change, and I think they really didn't change that much. Eagle Eye didn't really change that much with units. It was mostly just CO changes. The AI was also smarter too. I really enjoyed that. It was harder, but it was smarter. I like the smarter, harder AI. We're not going to over-stress this one. I'm going to give 16 out of 20. I don't think there was that many bold changes that I would push it up to 20 that was like genius. But I loved Davis. Adding Davis in was phenomenal. Adding the Fnatic in. Actually, you know what? Let's bump it up to a 17. We're doing a 7. Mid-review, I'm changing it. 17 out of 20. I love Davis. I love the Beast. I love the Fnatic. The changes are great. 17 out of 20. Next up, we got story. Was the story cohesive? Basically, the story didn't really change that much. It was basically Days of Ruin, but I loved the addition. More Davis prominence. More backstory for the clones and for Isabella and Cyrus. I don't want to spoil anything, but He basically didn't change that much, but added a few extra levels and a few extra little bits of lore. 9 out of 10. Really well done. Didn't overdo anything in the story. Didn't have like, Fantasyland, Lynn and Will making out and having babies in the hack. He didn't go too crazy with the relationship stuff. I know a lot of people like to go a little too crazy with the love arcs in these sorts of games, but he didn't. 9 out of 10. Really well done with the story. Didn't change something that already had a great story and just added a little bit extra that made it great. So 9 out of 10. Loved it. Creativity? Well, I really enjoyed the creativity on this. This is basically all coming together now. The new COs, the new maps. I mean, creating these massive maps is no small feat. Yes, they're very hard, but creating them to match the story, so they still have the Talon gun in a certain area and the bombings and other things. It took a lot of effort, I could tell. This was a bold hack. This was not just another walk in the park kind of hack. The creator definitely play tested this out the wazoo, and he clearly is a very strong player because he had to beat the levels, I'm assuming, in order to continue them. And it was very hard to defeat these levels, so I thought it was really well done, honestly. Very creative. Didn't go too outside the box, like I said. Didn't go too crazy with the story, which I liked. Creativity has its limits, and I think he really matched it. Eagle Out did a phenomenal job with the creativity, and I really liked it. I'm going to give that a 17 out of 20. So now for all of you guys keeping score at home, we got a 39 for playability, we got a 17 for balance, we got a 9 for story, and we have a 17 for creativity, giving us a final tally of 82 out of 100. Now, that puts us in the firm A rank territory. A great game that I highly recommend, and I hammer that home. Yes, it is close to going to a B rank because of the sheer difficulty and the glitches at the beginning. But I tell you now, if you want a challenge, look no further. This is the hardest ROM hack in Advanced Wars I've ever played in my life. This was hard. And I played a lot of hard Advanced Wars ROM hacks. This tops the cake. Still beatable, but you're gonna sweat, man. I'm happy to give it that 82 out of 100. But if you want a more relaxing ROM hack that doesn't take 2 to 3 hours, maybe don't play this ROM hack. Maybe you play Andy's Adventure easy mode, Dual Strike easy mode. Have a good time. But I really did enjoy this hack. At the end, I did get very tired. If I knew what I knew in retrospective, I probably would have stopped at episode like 24 and then give it like a 95 out of 100. But as it kept going harder and harder, and there's just too much slop going on, and slogs, and it got too challenging, guys. And then I got tired, and then the bugs at the beginning were really frustrating. But 82 is a really solid score. Eagle Owl, congratulations on a phenomenal hack. Like I said, I'm a very hard grader, so an 82 is probably like what kids probably get associated like with a 95 out of 100. 82 for me is like a 95 in the other people's score, so that's a really good score. So well done, Eagle Owl. I hope you guys can check out this ROM hack yourself. Really recommend it if you want a Days of Ruin hard map. And one last thing, I really do appreciate this about Eagle Owl. Not many people are part of the Days of Ruin community, and there's not many ROM hacks of Days of Ruin. This was the only hard mode Days of Ruin hack I could find on the internet. Only one. There's plenty plenty Advanced Wars 2 ROM hacks. There's plenty Dual Strike ROM hacks, etc. Props to the creator, Eagle Owl, for creating this Days of Ruin hack. I think the Days of Ruin community really appreciated what you did, and I appreciate what you did. And thank you for fixing everything. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys get a chance to try out this ROM hack and get to experience the challenge yourself. Anyway, have a good one, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.